Okay, so we're going to do a game over screen. I'm going to copy my code because I actually want to do it from scratch. And I'll explain how it works. Your code's probably a little bit more complex than this. But let's just see. So we have a start screen, right? Your start screen should look better than this. Yeah. We have a plain screen. We do not have a game over screen. And you notice the lives go down when this egg crosses us. Now I have 0 lives. You would think I should die now. The game should stop now. Okay? So before we learn how to code it, we should learn, like, how does it currently work? And I think some people, and it's okay because I'm giving you code and you're using it and you're operating the bounds. That's sort of my intent. But also my intent is for you to struggle to see how it works right now. So why do we have a start screen? Well, we have a variable called mode, and mode is equal to start at the beginning of the game. Okay? In draw, which happens at 60 times a second, so this one goes bam, bam, bam. It happens continuously. Do we draw the background no matter what? If mode is start, do we draw the background? Yes. If mode is plain, do we draw the background? Yes. We draw the background 60 times a second no matter what because it's not in an if statement. This stuff only happens if mode is start. So that is a special mode that doesn't happen when mode is anything but start. The rest of the game is between this bracket. Notice I'm clicking on it. Do you see this? It highlights it. It's between that bracket and this bracket right here. And it's important to know your brackets because this is the end of the function. Okay, and I could put more in here, right here. Could I put something here? No, I can't. Because this is the end of the function. The only thing I can put here is another function. I can't put an if statement here. And so sometimes I come to your code and you're putting the perfect code right here, but it has to be within the draw function. So these brackets are important. Anyways, all we have to do for a game over screen is copy our start, paste it right underneath. Notice I'm not pasting it in the plain thing. I'm putting it between the start and the next one. And now I say, well, if mode is game over, what do I want to do? Okay. Well, I can say okay. I just changed the message. You died. Click to restart. Now, is that ever going to happen in my game? Currently? No. This will never happen because no one ever sets the mode to game over. Right? Yeah. So we would probably want to set the mode to game over when we subtract the life. But we only want to do that if lives are less than 0. So look at the way this works. This asks a question. Are lives less than 0? Then we always start a bracket underneath, these curly brackets. And then we say what we want to happen if lives are less than 0. What do we want to happen if lives are less than 0?
Draw a game over.
Awesome. Well, we want to switch the mode to game over. Okay. Now this works, and I'll show you that it works. Maybe I should have done less than 1. You died. Click to restart. Now why don't I click to restart? Why doesn't clicking to restart work? Because I didn't code it, is the answer, right? There's nothing that switches the mode back to plain. So the next thing to figure out, in the code I gave you, sort of buried at the bottom, is a function called mouse press. This fires every single time the user clicks the mouse. But I don't do anything when the user clicks the mouse. That's not part of the game. The only thing I do is if you're in the start mode and you click, switch the mode to plain. So now I can say if you're in the game over mode, 2 questions. game over. And notice this has to be whatever I set it. So if you did it without a space, then it has to not have a space up there. Like whatever you set the mode to, you have to ask the question. The question is the mode currently game over? If so, what do I want to do?
Mode equals start.
Okay, mode equals start. Why not mode equals playing?
Then it brings you right back to playing.
Yeah, yeah. So mode equals playing will work. The person will go right back to playing. But sometimes you want to show after. It depends on the video games you play. The video games I play is after the game is over. If I click again, I go to the start screen, and then I have to click again. So whatever you want, it's your game. But I would suggest you doing this. And now comes the annoying part. Okay, because this is all logic. You have to understand how your game works, right? In a more complicated game, you might have to set a whole bunch of things that are true on the start, right? Like all these things up here. Because these have all changed. Some of them have changed. So what needs to happen to the start of the game? One, lives have to equal 3 again. Pretty much that's it for this game because this game will handle itself. We could set the egg back to where it should be, the first egg. Later on when we have like bosses and health, starting the game up sometimes gets annoying. Like sometimes people will be like, no, you get one shot and you have to hit replay because I don't want to have to copy all that code and reinterpret it. So yeah, that sounds probably good. Let's see. Okay, one more. Maybe I should have done less than one. Or, I don't know. Okay, you died, click to restart. Welcome to egg drop. I did have a thing, reference error, live not defined. See? And so sometimes I'll get you to come up and tell me the error that happened. That's because I want you to read this. Live is not defined. At line 157. What did I do wrong?
It'll be lives, not live.
Yeah. Okay? So when an error happens, your first job is to click down on that arrow and read what it's saying and try and look at it because it's telling you in English what the problem is. Lives is not defined. Okay?